So a lot of people found it unfair that my 2015 list of best anime was just stuff I watched, not things actually of 2015. So I agreed to do this. What are we talking about today? Oh god, please tell me you're still not looking up Clannad hentai. Just don't answer that. These are our picks for the top 5 best anime of 2015. This is stuff that actually premiered and aired and got on everyone's nerves in 2015. And after that, we're going to get into a nice little, in general, discussion about the anime of 2015. You're scaring me. So without further ado, because my list is pretty obvious and pretty standard, we'll go with mine first, and then we'll go with yours, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so for my top 5, again, this won't come as too much of a surprise to anybody. For me, number 5, I'm reviewing this either next week or later than that, I'm not sure yet, but number 5 for me was One Punch Man, the big hype thing of 2015. Number 4 was Log Horizon, which counts because Season 2 was aired in 2015. Number 3 is Plastic Memories, the Fields. Number 2 was Durarara times 2. Believe me, I was waiting 5 years for this thing. I better have loved it. And number 1, I can't understand what my husband is saying. What do you think of that list? Okay, so what's yours?
Number 5, I'm going to go the same with you as One Punch Man.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I'm going to go with Insight, Gotcha Man Crowds. Number 3 is Monster Masume. Number 2 is Dan Machi. And the number 1, no surprise, is I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, Season 2.
Yeah, that really was great. But I think like you actually got into a nice segue of what I think sort of sums up 2015. This was really the year of people just watching stuff to get angry at it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you look at like let's start off with Dan Machi, which I feel like was the first big like really hype thing this year. Like it really to me felt like the only thing anyone was talking about this show was Hestia's design. Everything from the large breasts to the small child face to the weird ribbon thing. Like, I honestly think that show only went anywhere because people were angry at it. What do you think?
I felt that it had some redeeming qualities, and that Belle kind of seemed annoying in certain areas, but honestly, I think the characters really drove that show.
Mm-hmm.
The story wasn't much. I feel that if it was 20, how many episodes was it? 25?
12.
Yeah, if I felt that it was 25 episodes, 24, 25, instead of like 12, 13, the show would have probably been more well received. Because they would have had more time to like go over the characters, not just have an abrupt, oh, we're in the dungeon, we have to defeat this giant Minotaur guy.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you mean 25, you mean still end where they did, or just air the whole story at once? Not like where they've sort of seemed to try to split it up and hopefully get season 2, which I think they want to get out sometime this year.
I feel the second, just keep the story where it's going, and then just go from there, but like more time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that if they had just made up random shit to fill in for the, and then just end at the Minotaur at the end, it's like,
It definitely felt to me when it came to Damachi like we stopped right when things were starting to get interesting.
Exactly.
And so all you really can come away with from the first half is, well, Hestia's tits, Belle and his harem. It's kind of it. Like, someone brought up the point of someone who didn't like it. He didn't have a problem with Hestia's character. His problem was that we spent so much time with her and she's the most boring female character in the whole time. Like, everyone's more interesting than her.
Not fucking, what's her name?
The glasses one?
Ice.
Yeah.
She was like the driest character out of all of them.
At least that was the joke. Like, they did something.
It's like, Belle, Hestia wants your dick. Stop lusting over this chick that will kind of likes you now, but like does jack shit for the entire series.
And who seems to be about 4 years older than you. Also, to be fair, we don't know how Hestia is most likely eternally old. And also another thing, and this is something I always wonder in these types of series, is Belle afraid that if he has sex with Hestia, like her godlike powers will just destroy his penis or something?
I don't know.
That's what I always thought with Teen Titans. Like, the reason Robin and Starfire didn't hook up to the end is because he was afraid her, like, laser green power things would just, like, fry him off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's something that could happen. I feel like that's what sort of set the tone, and I think even though you didn't watch it, what also really hurt things was Tokyo Ghoul Season 2. Like, I really loved Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. Everyone knows that, but Season 2 was just so bad. It was so boring. And I just sort of think that that was kind of the tone of everything this year. It felt like everything was just watched with the potential, just like look at Umaru-chan. Even the people who like that show kind of hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a weird reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was fine, like, you know. And then I feel like the franchise stuff is like, I think Dragon Ball Super, everyone was expecting something and we all got nothing.
Well, Super, like, it has the same Dragon Ball Z bullshit of, like, we need to add filler somewhere, which, you know, in a show, don't get wrong, like, Dragon Ball Z can get dry in certain areas, because it's like, we're fighting! What's this character have to say? Well, I mean, if Goku does this thing, maybe he can do it. Cut back to the fight, Goku does the thing, oh shit, it didn't work! Well, how about this? What if he... And it's just like, it takes, like, fucking episodes to beat somebody, which is like, that's where the whole trope of that came from. But just just the fucking filler in the series like that ruin it. And not to mention, Super could have been so much better if they didn't include, like, the movies. Because I know Dragon Ball Z movies were never canon,
Yes.
but like Battle of Gods and Return of Frieza were like the two movies that people were like, oh yeah, that could actually be canon. Like the previous movies didn't really, a couple of them didn't really make sense in terms of like, oh, this could be canon or not, just because, you know, it's like,
Oh my god,
fucking future Trunks is here. They go to fucking New Planet Vegeta to fight Broly when Cell is still in the fucking world doing shit.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense. But it's just like, what the fuck? Why? But Battle of Gods and Revival of F just felt like, okay, these movies actually make sense to the point where they could be considered canon if they decided to make them. And then they just retconned all of it.
Lo and behold.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of the problem with DBZ Kai, and I think this problem is in the original as well, is that because you need to drag everything out as long, story arcs need to be a lot longer. So I almost wonder sometimes with these shonens if they just ended the arc without stretching anything out, and then just did a filler arc.
Well, Kai completely dropped the filler.
Yeah.
Which I personally really like. Not to mention they updated the whole, like, voice acting in the series.
Yeah.
But I personally really liked Kai over the original, which is probably an unfavorable opinion, just because they just cut out all the bullshit and went to the actual story.
Well, I feel like, I don't know, I don't think people really have that opinion of Kai. I think for most people when it comes to Kai, it's just sort of the fact that everything is still there, we're just breezing over the unnecessary things. Like, I think it's different when you get into something like Sailor Moon Crystal, which it's the same story shortened, but we're also going to change the tone, we're going to change the animation style, we're going to do all this really just to one-up Kai. Sailor Moon Crystal, I think, took away from a lot of hype things this year.
Crystal was this year?
I think so.
I want to say it was 2014.
Wasn't it like the first half was 2014, second half was 2015?
Yeah, I think that was it.
That's what I think happened there. But I think that really hurt a lot of things becoming popular, because when Crystal came out, everyone was talking about it.
Because it's the Kai of Sailor Moon. And one thing I hated
in concept only.
Yeah, well, you know, one thing I hated about Crystal was the whole, it took 2 weeks for an episode to come out.
Yeah.
That kind of, like, I felt drove Crystal from being what it could have been. Like, if it was a weekly series, that would make sense. But the fact that I had to wait, like, 2 weeks for a single episode, just, like, kind of, you know.
Well, this is what I heard. I don't know if this is true, but apparently the production was in such a weird state the whole time because of certain rights issues that episodes were literally being finished hours before airtime. So I think they had to push everything just to make sure everything could come out consistently. I know Season 3 or Arc 3 or whatever you want to call it's coming out, and I imagine that'll probably have more consistency to it.
And I can't wait, because that's the Infinity Arc. Or whatever.
I can wait. I can wait forever.
Oh.
Just in general, and I know we talked at length of this, Crystal really bothered me. Like, there was a lot of stuff I watched this year. Actually, it was just Crystal, this, and the Van.